SaaS Therapy.
Welcome to SaaS Therapy, the show devoted to helping you save your most important business relationships, your customer. My name is Casey Trujillo. I'm usually joined by Todd Kirk, but this series is an 8-part series that I'm following up from one of the podcasts that Todd and I did around MEDDPICC. And today we are diving down into the first D of MEDDPICC, and that is the decision-making process. Now, I am going to warn you as you go through this little segment that this sometimes puts people to sleep, but the attention is in the details. There's a famous story for those of you that follow the National Football League. There's probably one of the best coaches out there. It's debatable, but one of the best coaches out there. His name is Bill Belichick. And he used to coach the New England Patriots, led them to many of Super Bowls. And there's a saying that he would have. Every year he would sit the team down and he would say that he had reviewed every win that the Patriots had gone through. And as he had gone through all of that film, he would say that there would be one play that would decide the outcome of the game. And everybody in the room was like, what play is it? Like, what is it? And he said, that's the thing. You don't know what play will be the outcome of the game. So play every game every play as if it's the one that determines the outcome. A decision-making process sometimes can seem very boring. Sometimes it can seem very mundane, but it is probably one of the key plays that if you really spend the time to go through it, that will lead to higher renewals, upsells, and again, customer satisfaction that you're looking for. Okay, so let's go through the decision-making process. Decision-making process has two components to it. There's usually a technical aspect in the SaaS world. Obviously, there's some type of technical setup to your application. Now, obviously, when you're in renewals, that probably has already been done. But as you come out with new modules, as there's different feature sets that you might want people to take advantage of. Again, one of the dirty secrets right now with AI is if people aren't using your application correctly, AI is only bringing about information that is things that you actually want to be seen, or it brings back zero results because you're not actually been using the application correctly in the first part. So the first aspect is a technical process. Is the software technically set up correctly? And then the second component is a business justification in getting that set up. Okay. So in the decision-making process, there's usually a technical side and a business side. Now, because our audience that usually is listening to our podcast is on the customer success side, we're going to focus down on the decision-making process for the business justification. Okay. So let's walk through questions because again, we always want to give you information that you can apply right now. Okay. So let me walk through. I'm going to give you 5 questions that you can assist you in that decision-making process. Now, again, you got to know the timing and when you want to approach this. I think most customer success organizations are usually 90 days, sometimes 188 days out when that renewal time is coming, where CS is trying to get a better understanding of what that decision-making process will look like. Okay, so number 1, here's the first question. Are there decision makers who are not yet on board with the renewal? What a fantastic question, right? There's 2 aspects to that. Number 1, is there other economic buyers that you weren't aware of? This is a fantastic thing. Number 2, are there competitions internally of maybe other executives or other management teams that are pulling for another software that you didn't know was even in the game, right? So are there decision makers who are not yet on board? Okay. Number 2, again, let's say that you send over your renewal notice to the people that you're working with. A fantastic follow-up question for your point of contact is, has the economic buyer reviewed the business objectives and the cost of not changing? Or has the economic buyer reviewed the business objectives and our go-forward plan for next year? Awesome question to find out where are you actually at in the process of the executive team or the economic buyer or whoever in actually making the decision to purchase your renewal. Number 3, have we validated our understanding of the process with multiple people? So sometimes if you're working with someone that maybe has been your champion for 6 months, or your new point of contact for 6 months, and they're really not sure of the process, this is a way you can stress test that. Have we validated our understanding of the process with multiple people, right? You're basically asking, hey, have you asked other people, is this normally how you get the justification done to get that renewal? Okay. This one's a very simple question. Are there any other committee approval processes that we're not aware of? Again, just trying to get them to walk themselves down through that entire process. Okay, now this one is also fantastic. Okay, as we're looking through the paper process, so again, they've described through what is the process that they're going through to make this decision. Do you know who will sign off at each stage? Again, another question that's helping you understand who the major players are in the decision-making process. What's the play? What's the one that's going to win you the renewal? The more information you can gather in the flow of the process. And again, you're helping your point of contact walk themselves through this. They're so busy. They have so many different jobs to do. Sometimes they've not even themselves known that there's a competitor out there. They might not even know what the actual process is on a renewal. You might face this. How many times does someone who buy your software is not actually the person that implements your software, who's not actually the person that owns your software? So revisiting this, not resting on past success of the original purchase, or, hey, it's been 2 years and they've renewed every year and we're going in for our 3rd year renewal. We feel really comfortable with this. Never take for granted the decision-making process and what will take place. Thanks for joining us today on SaaS Therapy.